Hi, everyone. My name is Tammy. I'm your visual brand startup coach. And today we're going to be talking about social media marketing best practices. And so, if you need any tips, or maybe you're just missing the basics on how to be better at your social media, just come on in and receive some free information to help grow your business. And maybe some of you may know some of this stuff, and maybe there's some things here that you may not know. So, like, come on in and receive some of this free content that you can use to help grow your business. So before we get started, I'm just going to go over some prerequisites, um, definitions that we're going to probably be mainly be talking about out through the presentation. We're looking at social media marketing tips. You'll be able to gain that from the presentation. The first definition we're going to be talking about is social media. We are talking about what social media is. So I have my PowerPoint presentation over here, so I'm going back and forth. So we'll get it together. So what is social media marketing? Social media marketing is the use of digital platforms and websites uh, that to promote your products and services in order to reach a target audience. So they are digital platforms. Anything that you use that's digital platforms that basically involves social media marketing. Okay, a lot of times we only look at social media marketing at like when we think of Twitter and Facebook and Instagram, but social media marketing is any digital platform that you use to basically promote your business when you're using it, the use of it. Okay, so that's what social media is. So we're going to look at target audience. Let's look at target audience. Target audience. Target audience is very, very important, especially for your individuals out here that are startups, just starting your business. It's very important that you get a handle on your audience. And your target audience is the people who are most likely to buy from you. Everybody's not buying from you, so stop lying. Your target audience is a, a group of people, a specialized group of people that has a genuine interest in your products and services. Okay, when I say genuine, that means that they need what you have. Okay, and they can't live without what you have, and that is a true target audience. Okay, so know the difference. Okay, and usually your target audience is going to make up it's going to make up a specific population, and it could represent age, gender, sex, uh, educational background, the whole 9 yards. Okay, so keep that in mind when you're thinking about your target audience. Okay. Um, Okay, so we're going to move on to, we already got our basics out of the way. So now we are going to move on to the next slide here. And we're going to look at social media platforms. We're going to look at social media platforms, and I'm going to talk to you about the best practices for social media platforms. Some of you use social media like on a daily basis, but you have to understand that there's a certain audience that's on those platforms. Like everybody, like your target audience may not be just on LinkedIn. Maybe your target audience may be on LinkedIn, and you're wondering why you're not getting you're not getting the attention that you need, because you probably market to business people, and most business people are going to likely be on LinkedIn, like serious minded people, are going to be on there because they're looking to network. They truly look to network with you, because when you're on there, they'll inbox you and say they're having this presentation and you like to come here, or they're trying to connect you with other people, because that is really what LinkedIn is really all about. So so let's look at the best practices for the social media platform, so that we can have we can be able to use the platform, to our advantage. Okay, let's look at Facebook. Okay, that's the most popular platform. Everybody is usually on it a lot, and you might find uh, middle age people in there. You might find people in their 20s. You might find people of almost all ages on there. But in terms of maybe the younger group of people, maybe the millennials, and you might find them on maybe Snapchat. You might find them on TikTok. So in terms of what that specific platform, basically they have a target audience as well. So Facebook is going to be most likely for consumers. Consumers. What are consumers? Okay, so consumers are people that are buyers, people who buy products. Consumers are people who buy products, all right? And it's not, and they're not buying necessarily business products. I always say that consumers are people, in my definition, is that consumers are people who buy non-business products. They're buying food, clothes, jewelry, that kind of thing. Okay? That's what I look at. That's my definition of consumers, so that I can keep in mind that helps me to, to distinguish, between the two. Okay. So that is where you're going to find your consumers, is mostly on Facebook. You're going to find consumers mainly on, you're going to find them mainly on Facebook. Okay. Now, let's look at, we're going to look at Instagram and Pinterest. Instagram and Pinterest, I put those two together because they tend to have some things in common. Okay, and so those two platforms are most recommended for visual people who have visual services. If you have food, you do videos, anything that's visual, you want to be using Instagram and Pinterest for anything that is a visual based service. And I would just particularly say, because Pinterest, for pictures, maybe clothes, maybe you're into retail with, clothing and things like that, makeup and things like that. Those are going to be more visual in terms of, you have the, person advertising with the makeup and the pictures. So Pinterest and I'm going to say Instagram are going to be mainly recommended for visual people who have visual side of businesses. Okay, so keep that in mind. Now we're going to look at LinkedIn. A lot of people are scared of LinkedIn because many years ago I used to be afraid of it too. I really wouldn't post on it at all. I barely would. I had an account, but I really wouldn't use it because I guess I didn't understand how to use it. I just did not have as much experience on it. And then, and one day I said, you know what? I'm going to really start using LinkedIn. I'm going to really get on there, develop the specific content. I had to learn the type of content to put on there because I didn't know at first until I learned and did research. So LinkedIn is mainly for business people. I'm talking about serious-minded business people. I'm not talking about people playing around or playing games. people that are on there, they are really looking to really network with you and, collaborate with you and do business with you. Because I do get those people inboxing me, trying to connect with me, and I do, reach back out to them because I'm on there as well to do that, but not with everybody. So if I feel like it's a fit, yes, I'm going to go for it. So, but I do get those inboxes and things like that, and hey, I do welcome them as long as I know that it's a good fit. So, if you market to business people, then you really need to be on LinkedIn, not on Facebook, or whatever other sites you might be on, or Snapchat, because your audience is really on LinkedIn. If you market to consumers, I mean not consumers, if you market to business people, okay, that is what you need to start looking at. You just look at, okay, is my target audience business people, or my target audience consumers? So once you figure that out, then you'll be able to use the platforms, more effectively. Okay. All right. So let's move on to Snapchat. So Snapchat is going to particularly be for like teenagers, people that are teens, millennials. Those are the people that are going to be on Snapchat. So if you market to teens and millennials, then you need to have an account with Snapchat. You need to have a Snapchat account. Okay? Because your audience is there. We're talking about, for those who are just coming on, I'm moving on to the next point, the best practices for social media. So if you know your audience, then you need to be on the platform where they're going to be. And I'm not saying that, you shouldn't do any other types of marketing outside of what I'm talking about, but I'm just saying the best practices, for social media. I'm not sure what would happen here, like the light. Yeah, so, yeah. So, so now we're going to move on to Twitter. We're going to move on to Twitter. So we talked about best practices. I don't have to write anything. So we're talking about Twitter. Thank you for joining. We're talking about Twitter. What's the best practices for Twitter? And I know for me, I particularly don't use Twitter. I really kind of stopped using it because I don't think a lot of my audience is on there, but I still have a Twitter account. So I'm gonna say high end income, like a high income and educated people. More of high income people and educated people and more political people are going to be on Twitter. You're going to find a lot of them on Twitter. Okay? And yes, it is a skill in how to use Twitter, and you really can't write a lot on Twitter. Of course, you know that. So really, if I think especially if you like coaching and marketer and things like that, you probably would have to really use good quotes. I think that really would work with kind of reaching, your audience. But it has to be a quote that's well thought out. Like it just can't be something that you just wrote off the top of your head. But really researching and finding out, okay, and sitting down and playing around with it. Or either some quotes that people just use generally. There's a lot of quotes out there that you can use that other people have made up and used. And, if you're in coaching or marketing or whatever, you're in the political field, you could probably use that. That would be the best way to kind of stretch out in that. I mean, I was using Twitter. I felt like I was really gaining some ground with it. And but I just guess I just stopped using it because I market. I'm on basically three platforms. Those the main platforms is usually LinkedIn, Facebook, and Instagram. Those are my three main platforms where I'm going to get my, where I feel as though my business will thrive a little better. Those are the three ones that I mainly use in terms of social media. Um, but as far as, like I said, as far as Twitter, you do that. Basically, that's basically you're gonna find high income and educated people on there. Also, as far as educated people, they're gonna also be most likely on on LinkedIn as well. And one thing you learn about certain platforms now, like LinkedIn itself, you compare it to Facebook, you'll find that Facebook is a lot faster. It moves faster. People are constantly, viewing the content. LinkedIn, like you're not going to get that um, response rate on there because unless you have built up your audience to a certain level, you gotta really build up your audience. I think for me, I think I've done really well. Like I have a handful of people that I have connected with and that support my page or support my posts and on there so it's great because I remember some years back I really didn't have that connection. I would put stuff on there and nobody would say nothing, and so I've gained a lot of connection because I started reaching out to them and connecting with them and so but when people see that you're sincere about what you're doing and you're consistent, they really get in there and start really supporting you. Um, so let's move on to our next slide. And so now we're going to talk about the 80-20 rule in marketing, social media. We're going to talk about the 80-20 rule with social media marketing. Okay? So a lot of times people don't know exactly how much they should be like putting on social media in terms of advertising or promoting their business. They don't really know the percentage of what should be supportive information, which should be inspirational or educational information. So I'm going to give you this rule, and it's called the 20-80 rule. So so in terms of you marketing, when I say, I'll just say promoting your business, it should be 20% of promoting yourself. 20%. Okay? And then the 80% should be educational content, tips, inspirations, just helpful information for your target audience. That is the way that you're going to really genuinely reach them. Like, so you should have plenty of content that you develop every day or weekly, that information that's going to help you to your target audience to connect with you. Like, if you keep selling and selling, like every time you put something up, it's always a selling post, it's going to really start getting overlooked. I've had that happen to me, and sometimes too, even though you know the 20-80 rule, sometimes you can forget. So you always got to keep this in mind. And sometimes I do forget. I'm just be honest. I sometimes forget, and I might promote too much one week, and then I catch myself and I say, "Oh, now I have to," But I have this rule. Is always had the rule that I'll post one promotion of myself a day, and that's what I've been doing. You would only see me promote one time out of the day. That is a promotion. If you look on my page, you'll see one time a day, and the rest of it is inspiration, positive information, maybe tips to show someone how to do this, and that is basically how you are going to reach your audience. So it's very important that you adopt the 20/80 rule. If you're not doing it, do it today. Do it today. Start doing it today. Because after a while, you could keep posting your content till you blue in the face. That's all you're going to get. If you don't have nothing else to give, you selling, don't expect to really get your target audience want to be able to trust you. How is your target audience going to be able to trust you if they don't see that you are helping them? You are giving them something that will make them trust you at the end of the day. They by you just promoting, by you providing helpful content, that makes your business look more credible. That makes your target audience believe in you and say, wow, this is an awesome company. They have gave me so much information to help my business, over the months. Now I'm going to reach out to them and see if they can help me grow my business. You see that? And yes, it does take time. So when you're a business owner, don't expect stuff to happen overnight. When you signed up to be a business owner, you was in this for the long haul. You're not in this for like abracadabra. You're not in it for that. You're going to take your time and you're going to do it right. And you're going to grow your business the right way. Because the one, if you don't, you're going to be back to square one again. Okay? So you might as well just do it the right way. Okay? You might as well do it the right way. And I always tell people, I've realized that the generation we are now, nobody wants to learn anything. All they want to do is just post their social media and they're going to be a millionaire. Yeah, right. Okay? It doesn't even work like that. So y'all need to just stop all of that. So I'm going to move on to the next slide. So the next one, we're going to move to being solution. We're going to move to being solution driven instead of selling driven. That's what we're going to be talking about, solution driven. And I want to teach you how to be solution driven. So you're going to provide content that says to your target audience that you have the solution. You have the solution. That's the kind of content you're going to be providing to your audience. Wow, isn't that powerful? Like you're still promoting yourself, but you're promoting yourself in a way that makes you the solution to their problem. Isn't that cool? Let me tell you. You're going to focus on benefits. Focus on the benefits of the product. Focus on the benefits. So that means that when you focus on benefits, you're going to stop selling. That helps you to stop selling. And so many times, I'm guilty. Like I always said, I'm guilty sometimes because you know what? I fall off the cliff too every now and then. Even though I know this, I'm a visual brand startup coach. I still have to be careful because every now and then I have to check myself. Okay, Tammy, you're selling too much. You're putting just too much of this. You're not giving enough of that. And you always gotta evaluate yourself as an entrepreneur. Okay. So if you focus on benefits, you're gonna appear, and you're not gonna say you're gonna appear. You're gonna be the solution for your target audience. And if they see you as the solution, why wouldn't they come to you? Why wouldn't they want to reach out to you for services? Okay? Because they see you in such a light. I have a young lady that's on my page, and she didn't know how much she was inspiring me as an entrepreneur. She's and all she did, she just gave so much content, free business ideas, and she would just put it out there. She was not trying to hold back, and she has a awesome company and everything, a branding company and everything, and she just really did not realize how much she was and inspiration to me. But it was behind the scenes. You don't know who's watching you. You don't know who's watching you. And yes, and when I needed a particular service, I reached out to her. Because I knew I could trust her. I watched her for a while, and I've seen her own business grow, and it just amazed me, So be careful what you put out, because people are really watching you. They are watching you. I'm going to say this. Your target audience is watching you. They are on social media watching you every day. You just don't know that. Okay? All right? So, knowledgeable. Know your craft. You want to be knowledgeable about what you do as an entrepreneur. Whatever you sell, or whatever services and products that you have, you want to be knowledgeable in that, because that is going to make you the solution to the problem. Okay? Being knowledgeable. So we're going to stop selling, and we're going to be knowledgeable. Start researching and finding more out about your about your craft, and to be better at what you do. Okay, educating yourself, whether it's seminars and webinars, go on YouTube, get some free information from over there, so you can be better and knowledgeable, and bring and intertwine that content into your marketing plan. Okay, and confident, so don't be pushy. So you always want to show confidence when you are a business owner. You want to be confident, and also creative. Attractive graphics. You want to be creative. Okay, so in terms of whatever you're putting out, always think, would this be something I would want to see? So if you're doing your own social media, you're using your own graphics, and you're designing, make sure you do a research and find out what types of apps are out there that are customer friendly, business friendly, or maybe easy for you to learn, so you can be able to make attractive content. Okay, graphics. Okay. And last but not least, you're gonna be consistent, times, and content type. So you want to be consistent about when you're posting and your content. You want to be consistent with that, because your audience is looking for you. Like when you stop promoting yourself, and you stop putting your content there, they're looking for more. Especially if you're providing like great content, they're looking for you for more. Okay, so you want to really start looking at that. So looking ways, that you can, help your audience. So let's move to our next one. So we're going to talk about effective marketing ad for social media. Effective marketing ad for social media. So we're looking at video benefits. So I don't know if I'm going to cover this. Well, this talks about the benefits of video. So I'm going to talk about a few of them. So, and so in terms of you having video is also going to be your best friend in terms of marketing. So, because one thing video does is it gives you credibility with your target audience, especially if people don't know you. So if you have a summary of your business, your mission statement, and all the different services that you do, and you have it all into a video, it brings more credibility to your brand, because people don't know you. So that's their way of getting to have a look, taking an inside look into your business. So you want to make sure that if you don't have one, you can reach out to me, and I can help you with some ways of you getting one. Because we also do provide video services, and we also provide that with, we do video editing services, whereas though you basically would just share your video content with us, and then we can put something together for you. Whereas though you don't have to have a video shoot. So that's something that you want to keep in mind. So video is going to build your trust. It's going to give you also a return on your investment. Okay. Video also appeals to your mobile users. So it's good to have one because everybody's using mobile now. Okay. And they view videos online constantly on mobile more than they do on laptops and computers. Y'all should know that. So make sure you got a video. Let's look at our next slide. Provide solution-driven content, and we just kind of touched on that. Solution-driven content, and I'm gonna give you examples of what solution-driven content is. Educate your audience. So it's educational content. So you're gonna provide practical tips, like tips that they can understand and be able to do on their own. So you're gonna share those practical tips with them. And for example, you might say, because I'm also in the skincare business as well. I have 2 companies. Now, for example, for a tip, I might say that if you use a white washcloth, it eliminates inflammation on your skin, because a white washcloth doesn't have dye in it. So using a white washcloth helps you to eliminate dye, getting into your skin or something like that. Best practice, for using you can that's just an example. Motivates you on you motivational content. So you're going to provide educational content, you're going to provide tips, practical tips, you're going to provide motivational content, and you're also going to do inspirational content. You're going to have and also your tips. If you're going to provide tips for your target audience, you're going to be making sure those tips are basically what your audience would want to know. Okay, you're not just providing just any type of tip. You in terms of who your audience is, you're going to be providing that specific tip for that particular audience. Okay. So let's go to our next. So actually, we're kind of done with that presentation. So I am opening it up for questions and answers. So our topic was social media marketing tips. It basically, or I'm not going to say it was tips, but I'll say it's better. So basically, that's basically what you think how to market your brand. So if there's any questions, you can go ahead and ask me some questions in the comment section. Anything around social media marketing, anything around social media marketing, I am going to be taking questions now. Are there any questions? Thank you for joining. Okay, thank you so much. I think I'm on a little early today. I should have came on a little later because I know people are be more free. But sometimes I just pop on when I have the feeling, I pop on. So if there's not any questions, I'm going to be ending out the presentation. I just want to say thank you for all that have supported the live video. I am also on YouTube, so feel free to follow me on YouTube. I'm under Creative Expressions. I'm under Creative Expressions Picture Video Service, but I'm going to be changing it because my new business name is Creative Expressions Visual Brand Services. So so at this point, I am going to be ending out the live video. Feel free to join to get in on the replay. Thank you.